Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. Today, we're going to be taking a quick look at the draft tax forms for next year, which would be the 2018 filing year. Now, Congress has talked about, woohoo, this postcard and all this other stuff. Okay, so first of all, let me just say that the tax form is not a postcard that you put a stamp on it and mail it with all of your personal information. No, it will be like a form, just like if you had to file paper where you put it in the mail and send it certified, all that stuff. All right. So let me, ouch, I hit my elbow. let me switch to the screen here. All right. So I hope that's working. Can y'all see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen, because there's a delay and I don't know until you guys say so. So just waiting for that to make sure you can see my screen, because y'all know how I will screw stuff up in a minute. All right, cool. Thank you so much, Trisha. I appreciate it. All right. So this is, draft, not for filing. All right. So this is the 1040. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the front, right? This is about a half sheet. And, where you have your pertinent information here, your filing status, your name, address, and all of that. And then where your signature goes, and, if you have a pay preparer. All right. And so this is the other side. All right. Where you put your income information, wages, interest, and all of that. So even though it's a front and back, really, it's a sheet of paper. Okay. So they just decide to take the sheet and fold it. Whatever. So that is that's the 1040. All right. So that's the front and that's the back. Now, along with this 1040 comes six schedules. This does not count the, for like your Schedule C and anything like that. So, all right, here we go. So this is Schedule 1. Okay. So again, it's a draft. All right. So this is your additional income and adjustments to income, as it states up here, Schedule 1. All right. And so this is where you're going to have like your educator expenses, certain business expenses, health savings account, moving expenses for members of the armed forces. And look at that. There's another form. I haven't seen that form yet. But one of the things that you have to, you have to realize is that there is, even though this is supposed to be easier, there are going to be a lot fewer people that are itemizing. You really have to, to know what the changes are. Okay. So like this, moving expenses for members of the armed forces, because no longer is it tax deductible for you to move, like for a job or something. That's no longer tax deductible. If you contribute to a SEP or other type of qualified plan, your self-employed health insurance, alimony. Now, remember the thing about alimony. Basically this form is going to change again, because alimony is deductible through the 2018 year. It is deductible to the payer and taxable to the receiver. After this year, this line is going to be gone, because alimony will no longer be tax deductible to the payer, and it's no longer taxable to the receiver. Student loan interest deduction, these lines here means we don't have anything for that yet. Okay. So then let's go to Schedule 2. And as you can see, it's a draft. And I'm making sure to let people know that this is a draft because, there's not Congress, but the IRS is still writing language and putting stuff into execution that Congress has come up with. Okay. So, Schedule 2, is for alternative minimum tax. If that winds up being one of the things that you have. All right. Schedule 3, non-refundable credits. Okay. So you've got the foreign tax credit. Um, child and dependent care expenses. Ooh, residential energy credit. That's still here. Hot dog. All right. So, and retirement savings contribution. So that's your schedule 3. All right. And then schedule 4. Yes. If you're wondering why you need a tax professional, that's because we got to know this stuff. All right. So schedule 4, and again, it's a draft. Cannot be too careful. So this is where your other taxes now, so here's the thing. You got schedule 4 here, and then wait, schedule 3. Now I don't know about y'all, but all that could have gone on one page. I'm just saying. All right, moving along. All right. So, this is where your self-employment tax goes. If you have household employment taxes, your healthcare individual responsibility. Okay. So I want to touch on this briefly because even though even though Congress has repealed the penalty for ACA, Affordable Care Act. Okay. Even though that has been repealed, it's still in play for 2018. So, I don't believe it actually phases out until January 1, 2019. So you still got it for 2018. And yeah, there's a line for it right there. All right. So that's it for the schedule for the other taxes. Now, y'all tired yet? Because I'm tired of all these schedules that could probably all be on one sheet of paper, but whatever. Schedule 5, refundable credits. Okay, so if you had any estimated tax payments, which means if you overpaid your estimated tax payments based on what your tax liability is, okay, then you see reserve. Reserved is stuff that was there, but is not there anymore, and they're just holding a place for it in the future. All right. Premium tax credits, credit for fuel, federal taxes on fuels. Okay, so there you go. Why is it all so complicated? Yeah, that's a real good question. All right, so Schedule 6. Again, it's for the draft. It's a draft. All right. So this is your third party designation. Now, on the current form, like for 2017, this was right in the signature line. So why it's got to be on a whole new sheet of paper? Please miss me with that. So this is just the basics, you guys, of the changes in the tax forms that are to come. And I want to make sure that you also understand that the language is still being written, guys. So like with people saying, we know exactly how this is going to work out. No, we don't. Because usually, like when we went through the major tax reform in 86, this was something that Congress worked together on for a few years. So when they rolled this out, they knew pretty much what they were doing. With this one, this tax reform was done in a microwave. So the IRS is really having to scramble to write the language, create the forms and all of that to really convey what Congress was intending. So yeah, we're still waiting, even on the education side for tax professionals, there's still not a lot of information that's out there for the new tax law because it hadn't been written yet. So can't teach what you don't really have. So those are the draft forms, and the intent is that there will be a lot fewer people itemizing this year. And I agree with that. There will be fewer people itemizing because there's no longer a lot of the itemized deductions on your Schedule A are gone. That's just it. There's poof, gone. The doubling of the standard deduction and removal of the exemptions. So if you have a family of 5 or more, you're losing out on with the exemptions being removed. Single people are bossing out because they're getting to double their standard deduction. So if you're single, you don't have any children or anything like that, you're getting ready to boss out a little bit more because your standard deduction has doubled, and hey, you ain't got to worry about that. But again, a lot of So a lot more people will not be itemizing because of all of that, because the state and local taxes is limited to $10,000, because the itemized deductions have been taken away. And so more people will really not have to itemize anymore. So even though the intention was for it to be easier, there's still going to be some complicated stuff. So the only thing that we can do is study and prepare ourselves as best as possible to stay up with this. So when you're looking for your tax professional in the coming year, hey, you need to know, have they really been up on this and studying what's going on with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, with the changes, because the changes are continually coming. So if your tax professional is not participating in the annual filing season program, if they don't have continuing education, I'm going to tell you to proceed with caution, because they need to know what's going on with these changes before they go filing your taxes all willy-nilly. There is also a concern that there will be people who will wind up actually owing because of under withholding. With the way that the new W-4 is, it's a little bit more complicated than it was before, right? You had your amount of exemptions, you could adjust your exemptions up and down. You knew how much money was coming out. You knew what was going in. You kind of knew what to expect. But with two wage earners, if one, the higher wage earner needs to do this, the lower wage earner needs to not do that. The concern is there will be more people who will have a tax liability that are not expecting that. So this is why I'm telling you that even though, on the tax professional side, people are like, okay, well, if fewer people are itemizing, this may affect my business. And I'm telling you that with all of these changes that are still kind of up in the air all willy-nilly, being a sharp, educated, and really dedicated tax professional is going to be what's needed in our industry to really help our customers and clients really understand what is happening to them in their tax lives, and so that they can make better educated decisions about what to do with their money. Going and adjusting your W-4 all willy-nilly without some education behind it is not going to work anymore. It is not. For a business owner, you really not knowing what's going on in your business and just kind of being willy-nilly about your income and expenses and all that, that is not going to work anymore. It is time for us to be smart about these taxes, because the last place you want to be is in debt to the IRS. I just saw the letter of one of my colleagues, got a letter from one of his clients where it's from the State Department. With these tax bills that are, $50,000 or more, you're getting letters from the State Department saying, hey, boo, because your tax liability is X amount, we're putting a hold on this passport. They will suspend your passport, not renew your passport, or you won't get a passport. Okay. And if you really don't understand how important a passport is, try leaving this country and see what happens. Okay. Now is not the time to be playing with these taxes. That's all I'm saying. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you. You can go to the irs.gov website, look for the publications to find these, to review them for yourself, more so than on a quick video. But yeah, you need to know what's going on, what's changing, and what's changing from your last year's taxes to this year's taxes. All right. So that's it for me, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and you can tune in here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, you guys. See you next time. Bye.